Hi, Tassie. Hi, Penny. Tassie, I was thinking about you this morning. How you doing? I rode my mountain bike over here. I got my van, dropped my van off last night. This bike, I just got it back from a tune-up. It's still making a noise in the front tire. Tassie, how's it going? Hey, up in the house. Good. I figured no news is good news. Yeah, beautiful day here. Have a good day at work, Tassie. Nah, I've had that before. You can't have a motor on a bike where I want to take it. Hey, Cola. I got my GoPro in the front though, see it? Hey, Faye. Hey, my enemy, how you doing? Beautiful day today. Faye, I still have your H.H. Bennett. Don't you worry about it. I got it in a safe place. Never know when I just may head out there in the spur of the moment. You could probably use that rain out there in Texas, though, couldn't you? No. It's just like kayaks. I run into these guys on these kayaks I have, and they got motors and depth finders and you name it. Just to me, it's not why I got it, I'm not saying I'm getting any great exercise, but I'd rather ride this through those trails than walk the whole damn way. I don't like walking that much. Oh, I got it, yeah. And there's a chance somebody will mention to me someday they're heading over that way. I think the last day of the Badger's the 10th, October 10th. I'm not sure on that. Oh, they are? Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's cool. I'm getting all that surveillance bullshit taken out of my van too. It's got a heating. It's not really true cooling. It's a fan system. It sucks air from up under the bottom and circulates it, and then there's two. I'm getting that taken out. I'm getting that propane tank taken off, that heating system, taking the curtains down, taking the rear seat out. Just going to be one big space back there. Well, that's good, vibrant colors. I got a good deal on this mountain bike too. It's hard getting them, believe it or not. You can't even buy them from the factory now because of some parts or something. They're like $450 new. This one's hardly been used. I got it for $225. I paid $80 to have a tune-up. So you can't beat it. It's not like a quality mountain bike. Everybody thinks it's expensive, but it's not. And it's a cheap one. But I'm not going to be riding it. The big knock on these cheap ones is they're heavy, which is true. It's 50 pounds. So, between my weight and that weight, it's like try pedaling 280 pounds up a hill. Not exactly easy, even in first gear. And it's only a 7-speed. I've got a recumbent bike that's 23 speed. The difference in speeds and bikes, honestly, if you're riding on a flat surface, it doesn't matter. But if you're going places like on trails or hilly spots, you'll really appreciate the high speeds because you can always shift into a gear that makes it easy. You can't do that with a 7 and a 10 speed. It's not enough gears. Yeah, I've got I got a custom made bike. A famous guy in California. I didn't even know it when I bought it. Had it about 10 years. Famous guy made it. I had it totally rebuilt 2 years ago. I really like it. It's an odd design. And then I've got another mountain bike, cheap one. I got to get another seat for that. And then I've got a Raleigh Touring 10-speed that I had rebuilt. And I'll admit to what I do. You know, I'm so lazy that I overinflate the tires. And I end up blowing them because it's so much easier to pedal when the tires are hard. And I got a flat tire on that one. Party on wheels. That's. You know, I've been painting a lot lately. Nothing heavy, but shelves, both sides, like 3 coats, doors, both sides, 2 coats. And then I was painting in that room. I'll tell you, it made my shoulder sore. I think I got arthritis. I'm not kidding you. I thought, I'm taking today off, man. I'm not painting anything. You wouldn't think that little bullshit movement would like make you sore like that. Yeah. So I got to do this. I'm going to give the ceiling 1 or 2 more coats in that room. And then I'm going to paint the walls, which will be easy. And then I'm home free. And the closet. I'm doing the closet too. The doors are 2-tone, so they're one color on one side and one color on the other. You know how that is. Don't like that. It's taping it off. Yeah, actually Schwinn makes a pretty good fat tire bike. It's about $400, $450. I mean, it's kind of like this one. Yeah, I don't like painting either. Yeah, send me a picture. Yeah, but I think I got some kind of like, you know, that pain thing I tell you guys to watch, that pain expert, that Daniel Claw. I think I got a real, like, I'm really sensitive to pain. I think I am. In other words, somebody could have did the same things I did, and it wouldn't have bothered them at all. Beautiful day today. Yeah, you can get these extenders though. If I was doing a big area, like I got a cathedral ceiling in 1 bedroom and in my kitchen, but it's enough you can do with an extension pole and a ladder. But if I had big areas and cathedrals ceilings, you're better off going to Harbor Freight and buying a cheap set of scaffolding. Seriously, you can get some really good scaffolding cheap there. Set it up, take it down, you'll have it every time you need to do something up there. Yeah, I got a lot of, you know, that's why I tell people, use good paint. Use Sherwin-Williams paint. I didn't even use a drop cloth. I didn't get any paint on anything. Carpet, nothing. Even if you do, you can get it. I found that even though they say you can clean it up right then, I'd rather let it dry and kind of chip it off and then use Goo Gone to get the rest off. They tell you can clean it up with hot water and soap. I say that's all right for your hands and that's all right for cleaning brushes. But I don't clean rollers anymore. I throw them out. I go get a quality roller. Buy a 6-pack or something. I'm not cleaning any more rollers. And as soon as you take that roller off, go clean the thing you put it on. Brushes I clean because brushes are a lot, but I don't clean any rollers. I get those, Home Depot has a tray you can like put these clear plastic trays inside this Rubbermaid type thing. It's a way to go. As soon as you're done painting that set or whatever, just throw it away and put a new one in the next day. Oh, where's that, my enemy? Hey, Flower Fairy. Yeah, it's really good. One weird thing, I noticed the yellow paint that I'm doing in the closet. See, I just decided one day in a massive depression that I don't want like just plain looking walls anymore. Desperate times call for desperate measures. So I just said, well, I'm not doing that. I'm not making eggshell on the ceiling and soft eggshell on the wall. I'm not doing it anymore. So I got vibrant colors. This is for this office. And I'm painting the closet bright yellow because that's where I'm going to have, like, you know, ink cartridges and stuff like that. It's not going to be used as a closet. It's going to be used as a big, nice office, and I do my radio show. And when you go in there and you're depressed, at least it'll be bright yellow, not some dungy, dark thing you're dreading to go in there to get a rubber band. I'm going to give it a whirl. And if that works, I'm going to do it to all the other rooms too. No more normal looking interior. Hey, Buttercup. Yeah, we're wondering where you been. I said Arizona, probably. I'll give it a try. I mean, if I was married or something, I'm sure you'd catch a lot of grief over it. But I've got orange ceiling, like burnt orange, orange trim, gray shelving, and olive green walls, and bright yellow closet. And I painted the doors different colors on each side, so when the door's shut, you won't know that the closet's bright yellow. Oh, good. How'd that trip go? How'd it work out for you? Yeah, I wonder what happened to you. That's the way I look, man. I'm probably never living another place again. I mean, reality. I mean, you know, 65. Only paid 75 grand for it. Taxes are cheap. You know, I ride my mountain bike over here. No traffic. This is the worst traffic's ever going to get right here. Love this. Love going in the resorts when they're closed down. So I'm sure I'm not leaving. It's also part of the reason why I'm not going to Detroit like I used to. You know, there's chapters in your life, whether it's a marriage, a job, whatever. And I think I passed through that phase. And frankly, it's too dangerous down there. I get recognized too much. People are hassling me. I'll be down there in the worst neighborhood in Detroit, and 5 people will ask me if I'm chosen one. It's not good. It's not like they're going to come up and give me a big hug. People are weird. Cops don't show up when you call them. The area where Maddie's at's just done, that new bridge. Michigan Avenue's not like it was. So I think I'm just moving on. Yeah, it's my mountain bike, yeah. It's a cheap one. I got it cheap. Hey, Neff. I paid $2.25 for it. I'm like the third owner. It's a Mongoose. I mounted my GoPro on the top. Yeah, that's why I'm not doing it. It's just got to where, you know, here I am up here. I don't do shit. I sleep in. I stay up late. I drink wine and aged beer. Play around on the internet, do my videos, take pictures of the trees, take my dog to like great places. And it's nice up here. And the only thing, here's another thing I worry about a little, not a lot. Some of those cops down there are crazy. Seriously, they're always getting into shit. They just caught one a couple weeks ago in a stolen car. So it isn't like, you know, you've got some high standard and there's a bunch of good guys you can count on. And there's an ordinance down there for knowingly associating with a prostitute. And legally, they could pull me over, charge me with that, impound my van, take my dog to like the worst dog pound in the world, and 10 grand later, after I convinced, and 2 years later, and getting home and getting Daisy out and getting my van out, and 2 years later, after I convinced a judge that I had a YouTube channel and that's why I was there, he'd maybe dismiss the cases, but maybe not. You know why? Because it's a valid ordinance. And I would be associating with a known prostitute. And I would be. I know that's what they do. I've interviewed them before and I'm doing it again, but it isn't soliciting, which is different. I just don't trust that whole system down there. I don't. The whole damn shebang, man, from the beginning to the end. And when you're in a place like this and you got it made, why jeopardize yourself anymore? I mean, when I started doing that, I didn't care. I was depressed. What happened, happened. But I'm not that way anymore. I mean, as bad anyway. Life moves on. That's what I say. Yeah, I mean, it just, you know what I mean? There gets to a point where even with my dumbass, the light bulb comes on and it's like, what are you doing down there? And any day you could tell me, I told you not to go down there. Just look up Detroit crime and the crazy shit that goes on there all day, every day. Tassie's doing well now. I still keep in touch with Becky. I'm still keeping in touch with Kim. And, you know, I think it got to me a little bit. You know, they're getting knocked off here and there. I think all the girls that died, it's like, you know, I don't consciously say, well, I'm getting depressed, but I think it does get to me a little bit. Because, you know, when you're going out there, it's going to happen again. It just got like, you know, not too many success stories. And, you know, it's just like, why am I doing this? Yeah, that's it, my enemy, that kind of thing, yeah. Oh, good, Penny. Yeah, actually, that place where I get those Thai dishes, that lady's still on oxygen from COVID 2 months ago. I'll even be driving around here sometimes. I mean, I told you this before. I mean, if you guys been around for a while, I don't really promote my channel. It's no big deal. It's just kind of a hobby. It got out of control, that people I share it with. I don't promote it in any way. And almost all my friends, they didn't even know I have a YouTube channel. These people like at this coffee shop, I don't think they know I have a YouTube channel. I mean, I don't like, you know, it's not that big a deal. I do tell people, but not, I try not to where I live. You know what I mean? Let me tell you another thing too. YouTube's getting weird again. They've done this before. People sending me emails. They're getting unsubscribed. I tell them about it, and they send me a form letter saying that happens from time to time. People, you know, voluntarily. I said, that's not what's happening. People are sending me emails. They're getting undescribed. They don't want to be. What don't you get about this? So that's kind of how the conversations goes. Well, lately, it's getting even worse. Now, they don't want you talking about drugs on YouTube in any way. You ready for this? Not even legal drugs. Not even legal. If I have a video out there and I say, hey, Faye, and Faye says, yeah, I'm depressed, and I say, we ought to try some Prozac. What they'll do is they won't demonetize you, but they'll give you the yellow dollar sign, which Social Blade doesn't show. And once you get the yellow dollar sign, you're done. And I think maybe because of my videos, the same videos that had a lot of people tune in, where I got a lot of subscribers, I think YouTube's going the other way now. And if I had to guess, I think I'm on their shit list. I think they don't recommend my videos anymore because girls are talking about being drug addicts. So they don't want that anymore. They even gave me the yellow dollar sign on that girl a couple weeks ago that said she went to needle exchange. She didn't even say she was on drugs. Got the yellow dollar sign. So things are changing so much where, like, what the hell? I mean, I can understand you criticizing me for promoting drugs, glorifying drugs, making it seem it's a good idea. Why don't you try it? It wasn't anything like that at all. It was in the midst of a context of a streetwalker that was addicted to drugs. That's it. You guys have watched the videos. And if I can't do that anymore, people are getting unsubscribed. I'm getting the yellow $ for saying Needle Exchange or somebody else. I'm just losing my motivation with these people. I sent him an email the other day. It's like, what do you want me to do? Just interview rabbis, priests, and nuns and say a prayer before I upload every video? So, live by the sword, die by the sword. What got me there? Falling apart. But that's all right. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I mean, I'd rather it do well and meet new people, but I'm not jumping through any hoops over it. Hey, how you doing there, Trent? Yeah, I'm serious, man. Well, they got a pretty good algorithm. I think it's both. I think it's both. But that's one major thing that people don't. Let me give you an example. I mean, I tell you exactly the truth. I didn't even monetize my videos till like 3 years ago. I was just having fun, and then I thought, well, what the hell, I'll monetize them. And then here's what happens when you upload a song. I wasn't making any money anyway. I was just having fun. So I thought, well, if I'm not making any money, I'm at least going to attach a kick-ass song like War Pigs or something to a Driving in Detroit video. And I did that for a long time. And what happens when you upload a copyrighted song is right away it says, you are now eligible for monetization. Well, I knew that when I uploaded it, but I wasn't making any money anyway, so why not have a kick-ass song? So when you do that, any video you see that I have with a song that you've heard on the radio, automatically, there's like 1% of songs out there where they'll share revenue, but it's not worth shit. It's automatically demonetized. So anyway, like 3 years, I'm going to give you an example, tell you what I mean. 3 years ago, I monetized, and it went from like 100 to 1,000. Honestly, I actually got 24,000 something 1 month from YouTube in the last 3 years. Then it kind of headed down, and then it was around 15 grand for like months. That's why I tell people, don't send money. I got enough YouTube money to hand out. I don't need donations or anything. I'm spending my YouTube money. So that one happened. Then it got down to 875. Anyway, long story short, now mind you, and I'm not bragging, I upload everything but the kitchen sink. I've got 11,000, I think 600 videos uploaded, right? So what? I think I've got like 8 or maybe 9 videos that went viral, which I'm not really even sure what is viral is. I know you get a lot of views, but I'm not sure what constitutes viral. But anyway, it happened. It didn't have anything to do with me. This is going to sound nuts. It really didn't even have that much to do with the subject matter. It happens to do with YouTube recommending your video. So I got 11,600 videos uploaded. I've had 8 or 9 or 10 viral videos. You know how much I got sent from YouTube? This is going to ram home my point. And I'm not complaining. I'm just telling you what's happening. You know how much I got sent from YouTube last month? $963. And there are probably 3,000 more videos uploaded from the month that I got $24,000 from them 2 years ago. So you see my point? This is what's happening. So if I can't like quiz people about how they got there and what they're doing, I just don't see any sense in doing it anymore. You see what I mean? So when you look at what I just explained to you, I think you'd share my same sentiment that it's kind of like turned me off on them, kind of. Hey, Blue. Hey, Nicole. Hey, Brian. So that's the deal. I'm just kind of like, I'm going to keep on doing the same thing I do anyway. But it's just like, it's taking the fun out of it a little bit. They're the ones that got me there, and now they're taking it away. Yeah, seriously. I mean, it's their thing. And when you upload a video now, they ask you every question, or here's the deal. I understand you can't have just a bunch of vulgar crazies on there. You know, this is what I think happened. I could be wrong. I think that YouTube was just making billions. People liked the videos. And then eventually, in their algorithms, they didn't have a mechanism to make every digital video ad come up in the appropriate video. This is what I think happened. I have no proof of this. I think what happened, me and whatever people, all of a sudden these digital advertisers said, hey, look, we're paying you good money for digital advertising. It's increased their business. Thank you. But I don't want my video, even though I don't want my Q-tip advertisement coming up in the middle of Chosen One interviewing a hooker in Detroit that's addicted to drugs. So you have enough of this happen, they get together and it's like, you know what, our advertisers are bitching that they don't think that the content their ads are coming up in is appropriate. Fair enough, it's up to you. So they don't send you an email and say, hey Tom, things are really changing. You just start getting dinged like I just explained. The yellow dollar sign. I mean, it seems like if I upload a cricket standing too close to it, like another cricket, that I'm intimating sexual contact. I mean, this is where it's going. I'm serious. So it's like every time I upload something, it's like you got your fingers crossed. You know, I got to go into like Grand Rapids, and I didn't do it, which is why I got yellow dollar signs on all those 50 interviews that I did. I didn't do it. I don't go in there and say, hey, I want to tell you people, I want to interview you. I don't want you to mention anything about drugs. I don't want you anything about alcohol. I don't want you saying about needles. But why interview them? I mean, it's so boring that it just doesn't interest me. So you see where I'm at? That's what the deal is now. It is. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is. And, you know, but I mean, it's like anything, a marriage, whatever. I got mixed feelings on it. I've had a lot of fun. I met a lot of friends. We have a good time intermingling and seeing how Penny's doing and Blue and Dolly and Faye. And it's fun. And nothing's going to jeopardize that. But as far as like being enthused about a large community and new people coming on and this just going on forever is pretty much stopped dead in its tracks. Yeah, pointless. But that's the big one that people don't understand. That Social Blade, I don't know if you've ever looked on there. I wrote them a 2-page email about a week ago. I got so pissed. And I've had this happen before. I've had it happen 2 other times in YouTube. I told you that before. I almost got thrown off there a few years ago for nothing. I made a joke making baby bird food for 2 abandoned blackbirds I found, and I titled the video Making Crack, just joke. I got a strike for that. And then one of those, that Nicole that I interviewed, here's what happens sometimes. In the old days, I'd be driving down around Detroit, got a video rolling, you know, just doing streets and shit like that, half-assed, amateur, camera shaking video. And then I'd see the girl, and I'd pull over and I'd say, hey, would you mind doing an interview? Well, sometimes what I would do is I would couple that video to the interview. You know, I'd show them before I approached them about an interview. And in one of those videos, that Nicole had flashed her breast. I'd slowed down, looked down the alley. She flashed her breast. To be honest with you, once I record something, it's not like I go back and look at every second. I didn't even know it was in there. So I got a strike for that. So I had 2 strikes. They told me one more strike and they were canceling my channel. Well, by that time I already had like 3,000 videos up, and I thought, my God, if these 2 examples are strike worthy, I'm done. I'm done, because you're going to have no problem finding one more. And I'm sure you'll find it in about 10 minutes someplace. So I figured, well, hell with it. I'm going to go out swinging. So I wrote him a letter and basically said, hey, cram it up your ass. It's been fun, but this is stupid. Obviously, the baby bird food was just a joke. A girl fashioned her breast. You got people half nude over here in the 8th grade. Get fucked. and I never got canned. It never happened. But it was a wake-up call that, hey, YouTube's changing. Well, this is like my third wake-up call. So I don't know what's next, because it's just destroying what I like doing. No, anybody that lives in Michigan, get that Fantasy 5. It's $432,000 today. Cindy, get the Fantasy 5 today. Fantasy 5. 432 million. It's only $1 bet. Hey, Frederick. Yeah, I got it about 80% done. Yeah, I want to do that, Cindy. Yeah, let's do something like that. It'll be fun. Yeah, I mean, I'm bitching about it, I know, because, you know, it's just, there's nothing worse than getting accused of something when you didn't do it. No shit, that is really a shitty feeling. Hey, speaking of that, I'm reluctant to even bring this up, but I'm going to bring it up anyway. So you guys know that I was really into antique marbles at one time. Big time. I mean, if you called me and told me you had a set of Christians and agates, I'd get on a plane, eat the bullet on the one-way ticket, and fly out to wherever you had them to buy them off you. I went to the earth ends, German handmaids, and all the American handmade marbles. I was into it big time for 20 years. And there was a guy, I want you guys to give me your honest opinion on this too. What you really think, and if you feel like it, research it yourself. And there were always a couple heavy hitters in marbles. I mean, they had collections that blow your mind. Like a sampler set from Christians and agate, maybe worth, in mint condition. Collectors are funny, you know. The box wasn't good. Sometimes the box is worth as much as the marbles. The box was in good condition. The marbles were all there. Nothing had been swapped out. You're talking 40, 50 grand, that kind of thing. There were marbles selling all over for 1,800, 1,600 a piece. It's a fun hobby, and it was fun to pursue those. There was a guy there named Jim O'Connell, and he was from Troy, Michigan. You can look up Jim O'Connell. And he had a killer collection. I mean, he was in marbles like early before they really took off and got valuable. And I didn't really know him any well. I talked to him when I saw him, and he'd always had his wife with him, an attractive blonde lady. And what we would do, we'd have marble shows all over the country. Las Vegas, San Diego, a lot of them in Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin. Wisconsin's got a huge marble club. I know all those guys. And what you do is you go to like a 3-day convention, you check into the hotel, and they'd have what's called in-room trading, where everybody bring in their marbles. I know this seems like juvenile. Open the doors, and for 3 days you go in and out of people's rooms looking at marbles to buy. It's super fun. I had a great time. So I knew him, and then, you know, I had some problems and, you know, kind of headed south for a while. Ended up selling all my marbles. And there were people waiting in line for them because I was a fanatic. I mean, when I bought a marble, it was with a microscope. But anyway, about 7 or 8 years ago, and I was already like on my way getting out of it, I had a guy call me from Ohio. And he said, hey, do you remember Jim O'Connell? It's like, yeah, I remember him. Yeah, he owned a construction company. And he said he got charged with child molestation. I said, you gotta be kidding me. He said, no, I mean, you know how it is. I'm sure everybody that knows someone that got charged with this, you're always surprised. Well, I mean, the other side of the coin is that's certainly a deep, dark secret that nobody brags about. So that was about 6 or 7 years ago. He ends up getting convicted and gets like 65 years or some shit. And the guy that called me would call periodically, and I said, hey, are you keeping in touch with his wife? He said, I've talked to her a couple of times. I said, well, what's the deal? And he said, well, she says he didn't do it. Well, you can understand a wife not doing it, right? So this is like all this time's went by, and I think of it from time to time. And I think, God damn, it just didn't seem like that kind of guy. Well, nobody ever does, right? Well, anyway, just for the hell of it, I looked it up again the other night. And you can go on the Michigan Department of Corrections. Boy, is he aged. He's been in there about 9 years. Then I went, and if you Google the name Jim O'Connell and you match it to that Troy conviction, you'll see where the wife was interviewed. And the wife said it's absolute nonsense, that it is not true. And she ended up selling their house, moving from Troy and moved to another state, I think Texas. She has a pretty good job as a banker. And in this interview, she says that it didn't happen. She knew him better than anybody. She was totally against that kind of thing. There was never a clue, and she was going to fight till the day she died. Then she went on to say how there were inconsistencies in how this little kid testified. Now, Jim was a marble collector, and one of the comments that this girl made during the trial was that Jim was going to come to her house and steal all her marbles, or that he stole all her marbles, something like that. And she said there were other things that were just not true, and they just railroaded over him. And this guy's, like I said, it's got like 60 or 65 years in prison. And I thought, God damn, up until 2 nights ago, I'm thinking to myself, wow, it's like, just think if that's not true. This guy's life's over. Now, here's the other side of the coin. So I was friends with the prosecutor for a long time, and I got to see the inside of criminal sexual conduct. They sent away a preacher here for 25 years, another school teacher over in Rose City for 22. I mean, there's no short of perverts around here, and she was getting these guys maximum sentences. I mean, they were losing their appeals and going away forever. And during the course of that relationship, I learned that here's one thing. On any criminal case, if you can pass a polygraph, they'll drop the charges. So I know that would have been offered to him, which makes you wonder, right? The second thing is, they've got these forensic child psychiatrists that are experts in criminal sexual conduct and getting them to talk and supposedly deciphering bullshit from the truth. And you'd like to believe that's true. And they testify all the time, and these people go, great, you can't have people out there molesting children. But I've seen cases where, as an example, people have been railroaded. Look at these organizations now for people wrongly convicted. And they've thrown out shit tons of cases in plenty of states from these horseshit junk science experts that talked about police dogs and scents. Their scent, and they used it for probable cause. And it turns out this goddamn thing was smelling a damn tennis ball from 20 years ago. All these cases got thrown out. They've caught cops lying. They've prosecuted prosecutors. Anyway, the bottom line on this thing, I've been thinking about this ever since. He's exhausted all his appeals, and he's going to die in prison. But here's a guy with no criminal record, had volunteered at that church for 22 years. Now, you can look at it either way. Well, sometimes it takes 22 years to have an opportunity to do that. But is there a chance that it didn't happen? I mean, there are studies and there are videos on YouTube where they've had kids in certain scenarios testifying, and as it turned out to be total bullshit. There's a couple priests, Catholic priests. I mean, there were certainly a lot that did bad things, but there were some that they found out that these stories that they made up about getting molested were absolutely false. So the last couple days, I'm thinking, on one hand, God damn, I hope this didn't happen. And on the other hand, if it did, well, I'm glad you're there. But there was enough information in skipping around, looking at the articles I could find, that made me think, God, what if this didn't happen? And to be honest with you, I don't have any evidence to look at, and I don't know what all the evidence entailed. But from what I read, it looked like it was all testimony. It wasn't like a rape or blood or science like that. But I'm thinking to myself, God, man, I mean, this guy's life's over. His kids will never see him again. His wife had to move. Everything went south. And would a guy in that position, with a clean record, he got caught breaking into a house when he was 17. At the age of 60 years old or whatever it was, would you be lucky enough to get not caught and you'd done it before? It just got me thinking. because there's a lot of examples out there of people just getting railroaded. I mean, you see it on TV. These people that got life in prison, that it was all bullshit. And I hope that didn't happen to him. No kidding. Yeah, I just don't know what. I've even thought of locating the wife and contacting her. But the truth of the matter is, there's nothing. Let's put it this way. There's a chance that even if it didn't happen, there's nobody to talk to about it anymore. They believed it. He lost his appeals. I mean, what are you going to do? What's somebody going to do? Go back and talk to the kid? I mean, she's a teenager now. There's just a little bit in the back of my mind that says, God, could this have not happened? Hey, on that tugboat guy, Cindy, is that the guy that had the tugs that used to do the fireworks? I used to be into kickboxing a lot too. And they used to have a kind of a famous guy. He was a truck driver, Kelly Croy. It was the Croy boys. Actually, James Toney was there. And that's before he boxed and switched to boxing later. And he ended up going to prison for 15 years for molesting some young boy, supposedly. I just don't know what to believe. It just bothers me that this could happen if it isn't true. And if it is, well, then justice prevailed. But it's not a perfect system. Yeah, Brian, yeah. This is like really bad that you could like get accused of this stuff. And reasonable doubt and all that, and he was convicted. I mean, I would almost felt better if I read somewhere where the wife said she was shocked, surprised. She never knew that about him, and it's like, okay, I can feel okay with that. Happened, no way. Impossible. It was bullshit. The whole thing was railroad. The experts were full of shit. And then he had a stellar reputation for 21 years, 364 days up until then. Nobody caught him in the act. It was what a kid told us. Like, it just has been on my mind. Hey, Philip. Nope. Oh, really, Cindy? And I mean, it's one thing, I guess if it didn't happen and there's no more bites at the apple, that is, I don't know what to think about it. I don't know all the facts. I'm basing this comment on what she said. I mean, I think there's women out there that would have just kept their mouth shut and of course wish it didn't happen, but she didn't. She said she will fight till the day she dies. But I don't know what's left to do. I looked this guy up last night, and man, he's barely recognizable, which I'm sure can happen. I mean, I'll probably be barely recognizable 10 years from now, and I'm not even in prison. I mean, you do age, right? But boy, if you'd have showed me him and said, "Do you know who this is?" I would have said no. Look it up, and if anybody finds anything out there that I didn't, Jim O'Connell, Troy, Michigan. Hey, Philip. Oh, gotcha, Cindy. Yeah. Yep. I'll tell you one thing. I mean, this doesn't make it any better. But It doesn't. You can't be having sex with underage kids. I get this. It's terrible. They should be pursued, prosecuted. I get it. But I'm telling you, man, when we were kids, there was a Catholic priest that was always telling my mom he wanted me to take him fishing. And I remember as a kid getting bad vibes about that guy. But, and this doesn't make it any better, in my opinion, a lot of the examples that I've seen, these young kids that end up getting molested by these men in this example, I think that I think they were young gay guys. And the reason I say that, and it doesn't make it any better, I know, because I'm telling you, when I was a kid, I really got that vibe from that guy. But I think he figured out there was no way when I was a young guy, me or any of my buddies, that you were going to have us over to your house as a male and put on dirty movies and serve us beer and get anywhere with us, because we would have caved your head in. For sure, absolutely. And in the example of this priest, when I did take him fishing, I can remember this guy. I remember this guy figured out that I better not do anything. Now, I could be wrong, but I don't think so. Because I was just like a 12-year-old kid. And he realized through, the course of questioning that this is probably not the kid that I should solicit for this. And it turned out just to be what it was, a fishing trip. You know what I mean? That's what I think. I mean, you could have offered us diamond rings and brand new Corvettes. And man, if any male would have put that shit on any of us, he would have been in for a big hurting. Yeah. I had a guy try to drown me one time too, believe it or not. He was gonna molest me. No shit. And I never told anybody told it to anybody. He tried to drown me under a raft. And then later on, he'd take his clothes off, acting like he was going to the bathroom. And I thought, this guy's weird. If he could have drowned me, he would have. He was acting like he was just playing around. That happened in Clare, Michigan when I was a kid. He was maybe 7 years older than me. But he would have finished me off if he could have. I'm not kidding you. Seriously. I remember thinking, this guy's really weird. It was is this guy really, you're a kid, you don't know shit. It's is this guy just being rough? Or, I thought it was really weird. But if he could have held me under, he would have. Seriously. I think back, but back then, I'm sure, kids been getting molested since day one. I never even said anything to my mom about it because I would have thought she thought I was lying or something. I got the van right now. I'm getting the differential, the transmission, the oil, and the rear end fluid changed. That's why I'm riding my bike. I'm going to ride it down there. And then I think tomorrow or Monday, I'm going to get all that surveillance stuff taken out of that van. It's just going to be one big... I got that heating unit, and it's under the seat. It's just, especially if I want to ride this bike more in the winter, it's just too hard to get it in and out. I don't use that stuff anyway. I keep thinking that I'm going to do PI work again someday, which, go 10 years now, and I haven't, so forget it. Really, Philip? I've been a PI my whole life. It's got a heating and cooling unit in it, fans, all set up for surveillance. That's why the curtains are in there. You know, another thing I've seen on articles too, this bestiality, like women having sex with animals. And they say that's really popular, like in Germany and stuff like that. And I know there was legislation introduced. I mean, I'm thinking to myself, is this really that much of a problem? I mean, to go through all this? I know the United States, I was reading an article, made these new crimes like in 2007. Has anybody ever like heard of this or known of this? Philip, is that true? Like is that accepted over there or something? Wow, Neff. No kidding, Brian. Oh, in India? I mean, they do that in India, or it's a crime in India? Oh, okay. And then if you scroll around in the United States, they, you'll see states that have made it illegal. And I'm thinking to myself, is this this big of a problem where you gonna like introduce legislation and vote on it and make it a law? I mean, am I that in the dark on this? Huh. Yeah, good for you, Neff. Yeah, that were my only. I had a guy pick me up too when I was hitchhiking one time from Birmingham. And it was like, he was weird. He was in a rental car. And I was hitchhiking back to where I grew up. And I remember him saying to me, hey, you got a girlfriend? I thought right then, this guy's weird. And he was acting real nervous. And we stopped at a light and he said, hey, how about if I give you $50 to just play with your dick a little while? Man, I jumped out of the car moving. Luckily, it wasn't going faster because it scared the hell out of me. I got the plate number and told the cops, but I don't think they ever did shit. Another time, I was hitchhiking through Texas one time. I was about like 20 or something, and it got to where I started sleeping on rooftops. I'd go to a place where there'd be a fire escape, and I'd climb up on the roof if it was going to be a nice night because I didn't want to be on the ground, and there was just too many weirdos around. So anyway, I was outside of a Super 8, I remember, and it was a 2-story one. It was out in Texas somewhere. And I got up climbed up this fire escape, got on the roof to sleep. About 3 in the morning, this guy comes up there. It's like, what the hell are you? He must have saw me go up there, He wanted me to come back to his room. It's like, get the hell out of here, man. So I ended up crawling down the thing. There was a security guard there, and I went and told the security guard, and the security guard believed me and went, and they ended up kicking him and another guy out of there. And the security guard said, you go back up there and sleep. I'll make sure nobody bothers you. Oh, wow, TJ. Oh, they did. Yeah. But they prosecute people up here all the time, like this preacher. This guy was counseling this girl as a preacher from the church, and then one thing led to another. You gotta be like off the charts nuts. You're supposed to be counseling somebody, and you do some shit like that. Oh, no kidding, Cindy. Interesting. You gotta be kidding me. Wow. I mean, unless that's just something like people don't bring up. I don't know. It's just, I never knew anybody that did it. Or they probably, if they did, they wouldn't tell you, you know? But, you know, when it gets to the point where they're making laws about it, it's gotta be some kind of issue. Not far. No, I actually cut through the golf course. See, if you see way down there, you can see that Walgreens. I went back there, cut through the golf course, came out about a half mile down the road, then wormed my way around here. Not far, maybe a mile, 2 miles. I don't really like riding a bike that much. I mean, it's okay, but it's too boring. All right, John. Yeah, you know, there's one of these damn guys. When that damn Monica got hit by a car, there's a guy that was going around on the news and stuff, posing about how he was Miss Monica and all this bullshit. And this guy is a big shot businessman around Detroit. I can tell you this, I know people that know that guy, and he was a guy that was like always doing this weird porn shit with those girls. He wasn't a friend to them at all. He kept them where they were at and then passed himself off as a good guy. He even bought a house. He even bought a house down there. So, you know, he could like do these weird porno movies and stuff. That guy is full of shit. Here he is getting interviewed by the news, you know, about how he misses Monica. Total bullshit. Well, yeah, weight's a huge deal pedaling a bike, that's for sure. That's why this bike's cheap, because it's so damn heavy. Have your doctor prescribe you some Jardiance. Jardience. You'll actually urinate out about 20 pounds a month without changing a thing. Jardiance. See this guy right here? I just had the cop stop over at my house, believe it or not. This guy right here. And I've had good and bad relationships. I've had hassles with cops 3 times, bad experiences 3 times. Once in Cleveland, at State Trooper, and then one guy here. Other than that, it was all great. But this guy right here, the cop that took my suicide call, I kind of became friends with. And it was, he stopped by, and he asked me if I saw this guy. And I told him I had not. I give him $20 when I see him. But evidently, this shows you the difference between here and Detroit. He asked me if I saw him back in those woods where I take Daisy, and I said I did not. And he said, well, he said, you know, we're worried about him, and last year we took him down to a shelter in Saginaw. So you see the difference? I'm up here, and the cops are worried about a homeless guy rather than fucking with him, arresting him for nothing, making fun of him, and giving 2 shits less about if he freezes to death in the middle of the night in Detroit. See the difference? Now you know why I like living up here. But I feel sorry for the guy. Evidently he's from here and just came back. I don't know, I'll do something for him. Yeah, Jardians. Now you may have to you, you, you may have to buy it yourself because an insurance company won't want to pay for that use. But I'm telling you, anybody out there with prescriptions, I was taking quite a few of them for a while, different psychiatric drugs, and I had great insurance, and I had iffy insurance, and then I had bad insurance. Now it's good to get insurance, but I never knew this, but if you get a good doctor, they know every trick in the book on how to get you these expensive drugs through filling out this bullshit or getting these coupons from these drug reps. So the bottom line here on that works for sure. Absolutely does. Look it up, and then if you can get a guy to write a prescription for you, start working that coupon angle, and you'll be 40 pounds lighter in 2 months, and you wouldn't have done anything different other than take that Jardiance. I swear to God, I've seen it work. It's another medication that would be a off-label use for it, just like Wellbutrin, an antidepressant. They use it to quit smoking, but it works for sure. Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I know they do that, but I mean, I've read those articles too, but I haven't seen one in a while. Banging horses. Jeez. It works. It works. Yep. Definitely works. It's expensive too. But like I said, you work this coupon thing. Or if you're under the age, if you're not on Medicaid, you're not old enough for Medicare, you can work sometimes a functionally uninsured deal where you can get the company itself to work with you. But you will lose weight like hell. It's just like Viagra. That was a side effect. That was initially a blood pressure medication. And then they found out, hey, these are the side effects of big giant hard-ons. Like, they absolutely dropped the blood pressure research and went strictly with erectile dysfunction. Made $1 billion. Oh, really? Yeah, I mean, there's different schools of thought on. I mean, that's all great and everything, but the truth of the matter is, in a perfect world, you could do that to lose weight. But it's not a perfect world, which is why you have weight that you don't want, that you'd like to use. So I'm a firm believer sometime in getting a jump start on something, getting a little thing to help, because if you could have lost it up until now, you would have. So for whatever reasons you haven't, and to take an FDA approved drug with, as far as I can tell, no side effects, to get rid of 40 pounds that you don't need temporarily, it's not like you're going to get addicted to it. I think it's the way to go, but that's just my opinion. Gotcha. My blood pressure's high. It is. I haven't even been taking my blood pressure medication. I'm even all in or all out. It's high. Yeah, it is. I have pills for it, and I just haven't been taking them. I'm either all in or all out, and I'm just not in the get in shape mode right now. I'm gonna get in it, but I haven't yet. I take Bistolic. Yeah, supposedly garlic works too. Yeah. It's just like, if you're chronically depressed, I don't think if you're suicidal and you're really not doing well, and I don't think that's any time for transcendental meditation, breathing out, walking in the park. You need some big time help now. None of this imagining yourself as a cloud and flying south with the rest of the geese that just flew over. You need help ASAP. And a way to do that is with medication. It's not everything, but sometimes you're just not capable to be in the right frame of mind to get out of a deep, dark depression. And I'm not saying medication's the answer to everything, but I think it saved my ass a couple times. I've never read that in the ones that I take. I mean, some of these statin drugs, there are side effects. But, you know, when you read side effects, you know, it could have been one person that got it out of 10,000. So, you know, it's psychosomatic, right? People, before they even have a side effect, they read the side effects, and before you know it, they're experiencing some of this bullshit. You know, the mind's powerful in certain ways. I'm a science guy. I'm not saying it's perfect, which is why I got the vaccine and why I've take other vaccines and shots, and you know, I mean, I may get a rogue dose and keel over any day, but by and large, I don't look for perfection, and I'm going to go the science route. All the natural people, natural this, natural that, they're dead, especially the ones heading into later in life. You're going to find an anomaly here or there with some person that doesn't have a cavity and wears the same size pants now as they did 60 years ago and all that shit. But by and large, you don't. Medication makes people live longer than they ever have. And if it wasn't for this vaccine, there'd be way, way, way more dead people. For sure. That mindfulness is a bitch. I mean, when everything's going right, and I got money in my bank account, my bills are paid, and I'm meeting new people on YouTube, and Daisy hasn't pissed on the kitchen floor, I'm ready for some mindfulness. But when the shit hits the fan, and I'm in a damn nosedive that I'm questioning whether or not I'm going to pull out of, I need some damn drugs. Antidepressant drugs. I need to get over that hump. Yeah, ginger and spice. Yeah, I'm no way. There's a certain type, I just, you know, Steve Jobs may have made it if he hadn't dicked around with a holistic doctor for a year. He fooled around with a holistic doctor for a year before he got legitimate medical treatment. Spontaneous remission. Yeah, I want to show me some cases of that you know firsthand. I think that's a crock of shit too. If I could get spontaneous remission, I'd have won the Fantasy 5 last night. Fantasy 5. Hey, Tricia. Oh, good for you. Good, you had a good time? Yeah, I probably do. Hey, who sent money? Who sent money? I didn't even notice that. Do you guys know who sent that? Thank you. They say that 95% of adults, so I'm assuming 18 and over, and you don't know at what stage. See, this is one of these horseshit statistics they throw out there. When you make a comment like 95% of adults, well, you know, you're looking at a lot of people. Some are 18, some are 85. Which ones are you talking about? But anyway, the way the stat reads is that have the papillomavirus. They have it. Now, you may be asymptomatic, but, you know, that's It all depends, some people smoke and get cancer, some don't. I know it's linked to cervical cancer and other diseases. So why somebody gets it and why somebody doesn't, but they give that vaccine now to kids when they're young, 11 and 12, which is a good idea. Yeah, I think Frank Zappa tried some of that stuff too. I mean, I'd probably give it a try after I tried everything else, but I got an idea. I don't want to do it the other way around. I'm going to try the approved medications first, and if that doesn't work, well, then I'll try the pie in the sky drugs, but I'm not doing it the other way around. You tell me I got cancer, the last goddamn thing I'm doing is eating a carrot. He did. No, but there are people that live from pancreatic cancer. People do survive it. But it's generally the people that get in car accidents and they're in there looking around for something else and they realize there's pancreatic cancer and they catch it. But people do survive it, just not very much. Shit, yeah. The old Grim Reaper comes a knocking, man. You'll be doing everything. That's one thing that I think I do appreciate life, but maybe not as good as I should sometimes. I mean, I could be a quadriplegic right now, getting finger banged by a Mexican orderly and not being able to tell anybody because I couldn't move my tongue enough to twist the straw to hit the emergency button. But I'm not. I'm sitting here having fun, drinking a coffee, riding a mountain bike. So I should be more appreciative sometimes than I am. Really appreciate it, because I'm sure if I just woke up one morning and fainted and I went to my doctor buddy and he got me an MRI and I had a big grapefruit sized brain tumor, I'd be shitting bricks. Penny and Blue, I've already put in my last will and testament that I'm splitting up my porn collection. So after I die, when you get that overnight box, you'll know where it's from. Try not to watch it all in the same week. Yep. Here to help. I'm gonna, sometimes it's fun to just get into a realm of an experience that you thought would never be presented to you. So you're welcome in advance. You may even feel good by throwing it all away after you get it. It's up to you. Yeah, it's a good point, Blue. Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah. Cindy, you don't feel left out, do you? I can split it up in thirds. Or it sounds like Blue. See, this is how when you're young and gay guys approach you, this is how they figure you out. See, I just threw something out there and then I waited for the response. So I know that Blue doesn't watch porn now. She said she wishes her late husband was alive. So now it makes me, based on that statement, have different plans for my porn collection. So I'd be willing to send you the other half because Blue's not into it. Penny is probably being polite and already trying to think what wastebasket it's going to go in. But you see what I mean? This is how gay guys figure out when you're young, hey, where's your girlfriend? It's like, girlfriend? What the hell do I need one of those for? That kind of stuff. So you toss something out there, you see how they react, and then you go from there. Yeah. I tried to when I was down there a couple times. I haven't been down there in a while. I did last time I said I was around. You said you were in Lapeer. But see, that's an old. You can do that with anything. Yeah, that's how you feel people out. That's how people meet on the internet. And then, like I said, there's a protocol. And depending on its doors opening and closing, it's how people are responding to comments, questions, things you throw out there. Like I could say, well, my porn collection. Somebody could say, a porn collection? I didn't think you would do stuff like that. Now I know where they're coming from. So unless you're, super stupid, you probably don't want to bring up porn related subjects when they're in a chat. They don't like it. Yeah, fishing, that's kind of what it is. See, Trisha? Trisha didn't say, oh, porn, that's disgusting, man. I don't want anything. Trisha wants to know what kind of collection I have, how extensive it is. See, now we're getting somewhere, Trisha. Nice to meet you. Yeah, all bullshit. Totally true. Same with tarot cards. Absolutely right. That's what it is. It's fishing, Trisha. Yep, you got it. That's how you do it. Philip knows how to do it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. But there are different degrees of it. You know, a bait and hook, it can be like first grade level or PhD. I say, Cindy, hey Cindy, I'm gonna be down to Ypsilanti next Friday. Cindy says, nah, don't come next Friday. My husband's gonna be home all day. It's like, okay, why don't you come Tuesday when he'll be 500 miles away? Hey, Kevin. This is how everything works. It's also how people end up getting blocked on here. I mean, like I said, there's a protocol for everything. And we've got this like invisible rule book that everybody understands. It's been around for a while. And everybody equally protects it with what some stranger out of nowhere comes in and says. And if they breach that, they get blocked. Yeah, it's a cheap one. Yeah, it's a cheap one though, really cheap one. It looks nice, but it's not. Hey, Lori. Oh, big time. Huge, Trisha. Huge. What about him now? Yeah, I got this one to ride in the snow, actually, and the Sandy Trail. I read about him online. I thought, I'll get one, try it out. I only paid $2.25, and then I got it tuned up. There's something not right with that front rim. 40's nothing, Philip. But this you guys know this. I mean, you guys know how it. You figure people out where they're coming from. Like I could profile everybody on here. I'd be glad to do it if you want to listen to it. I think I know enough about the people that are on here now to be in the ballpark, at least a B+. Yeah, West Branch. Yep. I don't wish I was younger, Brian. I really don't. Yeah. I think Philip. I think Philip's a really intelligent guy for starters. I would say that with his girlfriends, he's probably a control freak. He tries to do things the right way, and when they don't go his way, he gets pissed. Really hard worker, and a good loyal friend. No, you're on top. Found it buried. I don't think I could. I mean, I don't think I know enough about you. You know what I mean? I don't want to just like, there's got to be like a minimum criteria, I don't want to just make up something. Not trying to get around it. I would, but I don't like know you enough. Here, Penny. I think Penny is like Penny would be like good wife material. I mean, all you guys out there, you know this. You got one girlfriend on the side, and then your wife who you want to bear your children, that you want to take to company get-togethers. I think Penny's a straight shooter, super honest, and has a high bar set for tolerance. I mean, I know Penny's not into porn. But she's not gonna sabotage her friendship because someone that she knows is interested in a lot of things, tries different things, probably excellent at what she does, working at that liquor store. I'm sure it wouldn't be the same if you left. Good mother, just a good quality all-around person. Cindy, well, you're a little bit of a ringer because the older guy thing really speaks volumes, and there's like main reasons for that, and I don't know what yours is. I see that happen. There's another lady on here that did that too, but that's a whole nother level of whatever. But I think you're really smart. I know it sounds, not that smart people can't work in steel mills, but I bet at one time you were wild as hell, and then over time you settled for like a good life, and that could have something to do with marrying an older guy. I mean, you ride Harleys, you guys seem to have a good lifestyle, and there was a point in your life where you just took security over the crazy days. But I think you're a good, loyal, honest person too, and I'd love to read your diary. Are you really, Tricia? Oh, definitely, yeah. Yeah, well, I hope that works for you. I don't want to wreck your trip, so I won't. No comment on the sleeper car. Well, I mean, let me give you an example. I can't say on that particular run, so I know it's, of course, Amtrak. But if you look at Amtrak, they have a horrific record with customer service. People tell me sometimes, you have this, it's like anything, you have this idea on what it's going to be like. If people think they're going to go to Chicago, they're going to take the Sunset Limited or whatever the other name of that train is, or the one that goes up across through Glacier National Park, and you're just going to sit there and nibble on caviar and drink good coffee and lay back in your sleeper and look out at the windows while someone else does the driving. It's anything but that. These trains break down, they're super expensive, they run out of food, it's super noisy. You'll find a big cum stain on your pillow on your $1,300 sleeper. Stuff like that. If you go and you research, look up customer service ratings or the comments people have left on websites for sleeper cars going anywhere, any direction, at any time, and they have pretty bad ratings. But I can understand how you get sucked into it. I mean, who wouldn't like to just like put your car on there and whatever, or get in the sleeper car and just dream away and hear the train blowing its whistle at all these stops? And it's a beautiful thought, but I don't think the reality of it is much of an occurrence as they'd like to sell you on. Serious. Check it out before you do it. I mean, if you were starving when you got there, you couldn't fall asleep because the sleeper thing was dirty, you got there a day and a half late, you see what I mean? Check it out. I believe that, Cindy. Yeah, I bet you would have been. I bet there wasn't any. I bet there wasn't a more fun female to be around when you were about 21. I bet there's guys still walking around some places with smiles on their face 35 years later, and it's like, what the hell's so funny? It's like, oh, that's not funny. I was just thinking about when I used to date Cindy 35 years ago. Oh, good, Cindy. Yeah, they did. Where was it? That derailed thing. Wasn't that out in Montana? Little town in Montana? Yeah, I forgot to mention that. That's pretty damn rare, though. But the cum stain on the pillow, the cockroach running down the side of the wall that you try to swat, that's pretty standard. And the food, they're running out of it. It's shitty. The service is crappy. You think you're going to go to the bathroom and it looks like an outhouse that hasn't been cleaned in 2 Super Bowls. That kind of thing. Yeah, I don't really worry about them derailing too much. I would be curious though where the people that died were sitting. That has a lot to do with it. Same with airplane crashes. I'm always interested in where they were sitting. I'll tell you another thing I was interested in. It's a little bit off the subject, but these 2 older people that just drowned from Shelby Township in Troy. They drowned up at Pictured Rocks 2 weeks ago. 66 and 65. And I'll bet you money they were in the wrong kind of kayaks. I'd love to know what kind of kayaks they were in. It matters. It helps piece together the story and maybe warn somebody on what not to do. No, Tricia, I don't want. That's why I said I didn't want to wreck your vacation. But you know, I've done all these things myself, and I know you want to have a good time. And don't look on Amtrak's site. Look on other sites like TripAdvisor, some of those other Google reviews. Yeah, and you know, I want you to have a good time, and you know, you may have second thoughts after you read those. It's not like you know, you kind of get spoiled with the airlines. You know, it takes off when you're supposed to, it lands when you're supposed to, minus like weather, stuff like that. It's not like that on these trains. It's not like a cruise ship. And even some of those can be horror stories. The train stuff, everybody I know that said, what do you think of getting in, you got to go to Chicago pretty much. You don't have to. You can take the train down there, but it's much easier if you do. I tell them, man, do the research. And they all say, forget it. Everybody's dead tired when they get there, and they're looking for something good to eat. They're cranky. They're in a shitty mood. It's not like sleeping on this big, giant pillow top bed, dreaming. Oh, so you had a good time. Okay, good. So that worked out. Hey, Dominic. Oh, flying home from Boca. There used to be a real good Asian restaurant in that mall, Uncle Ty's. Are you familiar with that? Uncle Ty's in that mall in Boca. You know, Boca's a weird place. Everybody thinks that you got to be rich to live there. They have some of the biggest trailer parks in the world. I tell people that and they don't believe me. I think so. Oh, good. I mean, I'm not saying it's all bad, but I'm telling you, it's not quite what you think. I would say that negative reviews outweigh the positive. Yeah, I mean, it's nice, you know, if the idea you can get off, but you can't for very long. I mean, you sit there, you think you're going to read 3 books on the way, and you're going to get there and you saw America, and you go on the glass dome where you're seeing the mountains out the sides. It's not like that. And don't forget that, particularly this time of year, half the ride is in the dark. And if you do the math, there's a good chance that a lot of these places that suckered you into buying the tickets to begin with, you'll be going through at 2 o'clock in the morning. Doesn't do you much good. I might as well seal you in a UPS overnight box and mail you. Be a lot cheaper. Yeah, that's what I think, Kevin. Oh, an overnight trip. Okay. You may have a great time. Believe me, I hope you do. It's just, you know, when I know of something and I've checked it out myself, I try to be straight with people. Yeah, see, Cola, right? No, I say Brian. I think, Brian, I would say you're a good guy. I think you were probably, I think you're almost too good of a guy to work in a prison, because rather than just being a hard ass and treating everybody like shit, I think you were probably well liked and you had a lot of conflict. Like you said, you knew that there were people in there that didn't do those crimes. And that's a lot of burden to put on somebody. It's not like a contractor going and building, you know, a 100-house subdivision and feeling good and everybody likes their new home. You were getting paid to do a job, but you realized about the haves and the have-nots. And I think that could have affected your life personally. I think you're a huge skirt chaser. You probably got a giant porn collection. You've considered Taiwanese and Filipino mail order brides, but you didn't want to spring for the 25 grand. I think there's probably some neighbors you get along with and some that you don't. And you're like a typical type A male. You just as soon throw down in a bar than not. Like old school male. Oh, good, Tricia. Yeah. Yeah, that's it, bro. Even Al Gore said that's what made the internet. It's true. Hey, Melissa. See, I think that's pretty cool that Blue just hangs onto that car. Yeah, good idea. Get the good pepper spray though. Get the good one. You got to be careful though. That's not legal everywhere. The good one you can get off eBay. It's like $42. It's the big orange can with the grizzly bear on the thing, and you get a holster with it. Don't get that little bullshit lipstick size ones. Get the one with like 6 ounces. It squirts 75 feet. Hey, Indigo. Yeah, I hope so. I'm getting the transmission. You know, that's always a mixed bag. You don't want to flush transmissions. I just drain it and get the filter switch. But I noticed going around a curve the other day, it slipped for a second. I've had that happen once in a while. So there's always a chance that when I go to pick this up, even though I told them do not flush it, change the filter and drain it only, there's always a chance. All it takes is one little shaving to get in one of those clutches. And I would have wished that I hadn't got it done, so I'll know soon enough. Yeah, I found it buried. I get to know you a little better. I'll throw it out there. What do I got to lose? All right, found it buried. Have a good day. Have a good day. Oh, wow, Jesus. That's cool. No kidding, Blue. Now, Blue, is this just sentimental value to you, or do you think you'll drive it someday? Or you just like the idea of having it? If they do, they're making a mistake, because that's what gets you into trouble, is flushing transmissions. That causes more problems than it solves. With vehicles like this, no, just drain it and change your filter. You don't want to take the chance of spinning one of those fragments of metal. One little tiny bit and you got huge problems. They upsell you on everything else. Hey, Blomy, how you doing? Yeah, it's a nice day, isn't it? Yeah, I know you've been in a little bit of funk on that. Why don't you just try some? Do you have a? Why don't you just go get a? You can get a damn bathtub full of Wellbutrin. Why don't you go get some Wellbutrin and give it a try? That gets most people out of a slump, and it's cheap, and it's generic. Yeah, right, Philip. Yeah. Blue, do you think you've thrown in the towel on like any future fun? Having good times again? That's my religion. If it feels good, do it. Oh wow, you had it that long, Blue. Wow. She's in Denver, Cindy. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that happens. Yeah, I had a couple of those back to back. Cindy, that must have been a pain in the ass working around all those men. It had to just get old, didn't it? Yeah, I get it, Blue. I'll bet you, though, I mean, you probably don't feel like dating because of what you've run into nonstop in a long time. But I'll bet you, under the right circumstances, accidentally, just incidental, you could meet someone that, I'm not saying you gotta like have a sexathon, but someone you would enjoy things with that, it's the things they bring to the table that you don't want is the problem. But I'll bet you could. There's something out there that could pull you out of this funk. It's just, I think it a lot of times depends on shit luck. Like it's the virtual psychological musical chairs. And when the music stops, there needs to be a big lazy boy right there. I really believe this. In some people, the music never stops. In some people, there are never any chairs. So I wish you luck. Shit luck, by the way. You could probably turn Brian into a sex slave over that Chevelle. Hey, waiting. Oh, thank you. Yeah, he needs diapers. No, no, I gotta get divorced first. I gotta get divorced. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't talked in a couple years. Like, it doesn't matter to me one way or the other. It does help, yeah. I think it's the cheapest, best drug out there for depression. It's got a stimulant effect. It'll make you lose weight and it'll make you quit smoking too. I mean, I think it's the biggest bang for your buck. Go on these chats, these blogs, these psychiatric medications. I mean, when you consider you can get a whole bucket full of it for $4, I mean, that's hard to do in this day and age. You can't even get a damn foot long for that. Yeah, I would recommend it. You can get a doctor. It's not addictive. You know, give it a whirl. Prozac, if you look overall at all the studies, Prozac gets the best ratings. And you can get that in a generic version as well. Yeah. What is Wellbutrin, Cindy? Antidepressant. Yeah, it's an antidepressant. I think, like I said, I think it's the big. It's like getting a Corvette for the price of a Astro van. No shit. And the good news is that you can get it in generic version. You can go to Walmart; they'll give you like a bucket full of it for $4. It works. I'm not a big time release guy because there's times when I want to take a nap, and you start taking time release Wellbutrin, you're not taking any nap. So I like taking the pill, getting off my ass. If the day's going fine and I don't want to take a nap, then I'll take another one. But you know, that time release shit, you gotta watch that. I do take a time release Claritin D every day, but that's different because I don't want to feel like I'm gonna fall asleep at any part of the day if I can help it. Oh yeah, you're right. Situational, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I get it. I feel the same way. I think this COVID bullshit stressed me out. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. Family issues, yeah. Well, thank God I don't have any of those. They're all dead. But one, and I don't talk to her. Oh, cool, T-Jess. Yeah, well, Indigo, yeah. Hey, Harolding, how you doing? How's it going? I didn't realize it, but one other time when we were talking about Wellbutrin, somebody said they grind it up and snort it someplace. I'd never heard of that. And sure as shit, I looked it up and they do. Yeah, don't watch the news. Yeah, I like Tassie. Tassie is the bulletproof. I swear, they ought to have her photo on a damn $20 bill. Yeah, I haven't been doing them too many chats. Yeah, I haven't. Yep. Yeah, check into it. It's very easy to get. You're not going to get addicted to it. It'll get you off your ass. You're thinking positive for hardly any side effects. Yeah, it's possible, Blue. Yeah. Give it a try, man. I mean, you know, when you're stifled because of a thought process, it's not good. I mean, that's what medication's for. I mean, that's one knock I have about the historical context of religion. And that, if you don't suffer, if something isn't miserable, if you don't hate going there, then there's no value in it, which I say is horseshit. Which is why my religion is, if it feels good, do it. There shouldn't be a prelude of misery to get where you want to be. Oh, good. Thank you, Phil. I'm glad to have you around. Yeah. Nobody does, Blue. But, I mean, if you were a diabetic, you'd take insulin, wouldn't you? Hey, Edward. I mean, what's the difference? All right. Yeah, it will, and to go sleep, yeah. Oh, what is that, T-Jess? Yeah, I'd try it. Take a sativa gummy. Shit, you got one on every block out there. Yeah, well, those were the wrong ones. Keep trying. Pretend you're doing it for somebody else. I've found that doing things for a third party is easier than doing them for myself. I don't know why. Oh, wow. Yeah, kind of, Neff. Oh, come on. Don't paint yourself into a corner that way. Yeah, no, I didn't. No. Well, I would believe the coffee, but because of antioxidants, but not the bacon. It's full of nitrates. It's high in fat. I think she's just got good genes. Yeah, I heard bacon's going up too. I don't give a shit. I don't eat it anyway. Yeah, no, I've taken some gummies. I could take them or leave them. I'd think mainly leave them. I'd rather drink dragon's milk. Yeah, bacon's not good for you anyway. That reminds me, I bought my nephew a t-shirt. It showed a pig screwing a pig from behind. It was like a cartoon. And the caption read, "Making bacon." And he got sent home from school with it. My mom chewed my ass for giving it to him. I bought it at the Monroe County Fair. Making bacon. I don't think so, Philip. Not for homemade, no. Nope. Yeah. Brian's down with it. Oh, did they really? I haven't seen it since. It was like a pig with a big, shit-eating grin on his face. See, now, this is what I'm talking about, the nuances and the profiling in chat. See, now, Brian and Blue are getting to know each other now. He's thrown out some things, she's responded, so they're getting somewhere. I'm not saying it's a romance in the making, but this is how it all works. Oh, really? Oh, okay, I'll check it out. Did you send me another picture? Yeah, I'm not into it either. He does want it, yep. Well, I mean, Brian could spend the rest of his life looking around for an intelligent, attractive, single woman with a Chevelle, so I don't blame him. Seriously, it'll never happen again. It was a good one. Hey, Dolly. Oh, really? Is it for you? Oh, wow, T-Jess. Remeron is cheap too. Hey, Chris, they were wondering where you were at last night. How you doing? Where you been? Yeah, Remeron. I've got up at 3 in the morning and cooked a spaghetti and meatball dinner at Remeron. They say you'll gain weight. You can count on it. Oh, sorry about that. Anything serious? You getting breast implants? Oh, he's got a wife. Oh, okay. You know, I'm not saying this is the case with you guys. I'm just joking, but I know people that have had affairs with married people, and the reason was because it guaranteed that they'd never be around very much. I mean, I'm not saying you should agree with it, but it's logical. Oh, hey, sure, that's no big deal. That's no big deal. Sounds like you've been getting on top again. Yeah, right. Yep. Hey, Alethea, how you doing? I didn't know you had a wife, Brian. Oh, good. Well, it's lagging. I don't know why. It should be a good signal. Yeah, Conan, how you doing? Oh, good, Alethea. Oh, locked up? What happened? What'd you do? Did you go back to that pet shop for that dog? Hey, David. No, it's not. It is not. Oh, gotcha. How long did you get locked up for? No, I'm doing pretty good, Conan. Yeah, it is. Terrible disease. It sure is. Yep. Oh, sorry about that. What was the charge? Yeah, it is, Dave. Yeah. okay. Well, I think I'm gonna get out of here, guys. I think I'm gonna go. Usually they get my van down a lot. I think I'm gonna go get a lunch. Try not to get killed crossing the street. And I don't have much battery left on my phone either. I'm gonna get my van, take Daisy for a walk. So this is a great impromptu chat. This has got my spirits back. I'm liking YouTube better than I did when I went to bed. You have a good day today? Not far, a mile, maybe 2. First gear the whole way. It's too hard any other way. Have a good day, Penny. See you, Harolding. Oh yeah, well, yep. Yep. See you, Dominic. Chris, we'll probably be on later tonight. Glad you got out. Glad you're feeling better, Letha. Glad you're still alive. See you, Melissa. See you, David. See you, Blue. All right, Cola. Yep, take care. See you, Philip. Yeah, join that chat. They're good people. No, glad you made it. No, you could have been. Graveyard's filled with people that didn't make it. All right, Indigo. See you, Brian. I'm glad you made it. Yeah, have a good day, you guys. See you, Frederick. All right, you guys. Bye, Penny.